So today, I want to talk about something that most people completely misunderstand. Emptiness. We are being taught that emptiness means lack, nothingness, weakness, or failure. But when I started paying attention to how things form, I realized something strange. Nothing powerful ever begins full. Everything begins empty. So here is the idea. Feminine energy is empty space. And that emptiness, it is not passive. It's not weak. It's not waiting. It is magnetic. It attracts. It receives. It stabilizes. Without emptiness, nothing enters, nothing forms, nothing stays. So let's talk about why emptiness is power. Think about this. A full cup cannot receive anything. A closed hand cannot be given anything. A crowded room can't welcome anything new. So, emptiness is what makes room for reality to arrive. So when I say feminine energy is empty, it doesn't mean it lacks power. No. As a matter of fact, that's quite the opposite. That's quite the opposite because the feminine energy creates the pool of whatever you are desiring. Magnetism doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It doesn't push. But rather, magnetism attracts quietly. That's the feminine field. Magnetism doesn't force reality. It draws reality. The stronger and larger the space, the stronger and larger the pool. So this is why force usually fails and calm presence succeeds. In thermodynamics, there is something called endothermic. Endothermic means taking energy inward. So endothermic is the process of taking in positive energy inward. Endothermic is an empty space that takes in positive energy inward to create wholeness. So in simplicity, endothermic means absorbing, collecting, holding. That's feminine energy. It doesn't release, it receives. Now, masculine energy, that's the opposite. It is exothermic. It releases energy outward. So the exothermic reaction that is released is what is collected by the feminine energy, which is the exothermic process of collecting the masculine energy inward. Both these energies are necessary, but today we are focusing on the inward energy, that's the feminine energy, the inward force. Now, let's talk about why every desire begins as a void. Every desire you have starts as emptiness. So you want something simply because it is missing. Void. That missing space is the magnetic field. Your desires is not a demand. It is a vacuum. It is emptiness. It is a space. And so, whatever it is that is missing begins to come into that void, just to fill up that void. Take the example of an empty cup. You need water, and then the cup is the shape, the emptiness, to hold that water. But when you put the cup underneath a running tap, that is you attracting the water inside the cup. Now, let's talk about why anxiety repels desire, because this is a very important part to understand. When you panic about a desire, you collapse the space of that your desire. Anxiety is contraction because fear tightens the field. It means that the void you created for your desires, you are using anxiety to tighten it. Doing too much clogs the opening of that space that you desire. It's just like you slamming the door while asking someone to enter. This is why rest matters. It is why calm matters. It is why stillness is powerful. There is a reason why the empty cup metaphor works, because an empty cup doesn't beg for water. It simply holds the space for the water. So the moment the cup overflows, nothing more can enter. This law applies to each and every of your desires because your inner space is the container. Let's talk about how the universe detects emptiness, because here is what most people don't realize. Reality doesn't respond to words. It responds to fields. Your emptiness has a frequency. Your desire broadcasts a signal. And when you relax into that space, instead of forcing outcomes, you strengthen that signal. So rest isn't laziness. Rest actually is openness. When you rest, you stop interfering, you stop pushing, and you stop scattering energy. You just allow the magnetic field to do its work. And this is because creation enters through open space. Your desire is just like an empty room. But the moment you panic, you shut the door. The moment you rest and relax, you open the windows. And creation always enters through open windows. So feminine emptiness is not weakness. It is the silent force that pulls energy into form. So it is important to understand that without space, nothing arrives. Without emptiness, nothing begins. You don't attract by force. You attract by making space. And once you understand this, everything changes.